Okay, my name is Dr. Tan Lei Seng. I'm a doctor and a practicing obstetrician and gynecologist specialist.
Okay, thank you.
In the society, but my main job is to deliver babies, that is in the obstetrics part, and the other thing is to look at women's diseases when they have diseases in their womb and their reproductive system and treat them. I actually only decided after A-levels. When I saw the results not bad, then my father said, "You want to become a doctor?" I said, "Okay."
So it was the last minute thing, and you didn't plan this beforehand?
No, I didn't plan beforehand. Yeah, because I was so scared of blood. Like you.
You confident that you wanted to be doctor, then you can be a?
Yeah, that's what I thought. But eventually it worked out. Not on television, I think. In those days, a lot of doctor show.
Really?
Very glamorous. Gynae is easy because I'm not very hardworking. So in gynae and almost surgical fields, when you have to become a doctor and you operate, you don't have to know so much of theory. Whereas if you're a physician or anesthetist, you have to know a lot of theory. So I wasn't very hardworking in university. And my professor said, "Hey, Dr. Tan, your hand's quite good, or you're quite a good surgeon." So that influenced me. Well, you need to be maybe slightly above average intelligence, just to be smart so that you can digest. You need to sacrifice because you need to study really hard and spend more time than most of your friends. Then, of course, you need to like people. If you don't like people, and if you don't like talking to people, then that is a down point. And if you're always angry when people call you suddenly in emergencies, that also is a down point. There are still a lot of need in this country for doctors. The only problem now is that they have had too many young doctors and there are not enough posts for young doctors. You will know that day before the budget came out, now they are creating a lot of temporary posts for doctors so that all this talent not wasted after they graduate, but they will have at these jobs. Otherwise, the process of creating jobs in the government is very difficult, very tough. But we need all these doctors and we cannot let them go to waste.
But their experience, as in they are skillful enough.
But they've gone through university and they passed the theory part of it. So what they have to do is they have to now go through housemanship and MOship, which in our country is 4 years long, before they can come out and practice as full-fledged doctors. You just have to be committed, that's all. You must first ask yourself that you are in medicine because you like people, you like to help. In the future, when there are a lot of doctors, then you won't make so much money, so money cannot be your motivator. But I always tell people, if you're a good doctor and you care for people, people will come to you and pay you money. So that should, as long as it's not your first motivation, I think you'll be a good doctor. You must. Well, I've chosen to be an obstetrician, so I get called all sorts of times of the night. Usually feel frustrated, but usually not, because I like my job, so it's okay. If I really have to do something that's important, sometimes I've got, like you say, birthdays, wife's birthday or wife's anniversary or children's birthday, I actually tell my colleagues to take care of the patients while I'm away, just in case. If I have to have a church event or sometimes a camp or a holiday with the family, those are important. So I get my colleague to cover, so they will cover and take care of the patients while I'm away. I just did A-levels, usual, physics, chemistry, maths, and biology.
During your degree?
Oh no, the A-levels. Yes, we call it HSC in those days. choose your course, and then once you've chosen your course, that's what you're trained in. So because you're trained in, you can, some people choose not to become, to do what they are trained in. That's because they find halfway they don't quite like what they do, then that's fine. But of course, most people will do what they are trained in. If you're an engineer, you come out and work as an engineer. If you're a doctor, you come out and work as a doctor, generally. Chemistry, very little. Because, like you say, so because we are surgeons, obstetricians and gynecologists are generally surgeons, we operate more than we take care of body chemistry. So we deal very little with chemistry, some endocrinology, some cellular biology, but mainly we are people who work with our hands. Whereas the physicians, the pediatricians and the anesthetists, they have to do their physiology and the chemistry very well, because a lot of their diseases have to deal with chemistry or physiology that's gone wrong in the body. So they have to know it much better than us. But we still have to know, but not as deep as them. When somebody dies, when the baby dies, or when the mommy dies, those are very difficult situations. Even if it's not your fault, it's very difficult.
How do you handle them?
It's not your fault, so but you still have to handle. First you got to handle the family. You have to explain to them clearly, and then you got to handle your own emotions, because as far as we are concerned, we take care of the pregnant mothers for 9 months. So if they suddenly at the end die, we also feel very, very sad for them. And we try and learn, if there are anything that we could have done better, we try and learn. And we of course try very hard not to make mistakes in how we treat people. So in that sense, being a doctor is very critical. If you do all these critical things, that unlike a car mechanic, if you repair your car wrongly, at the most it won't work for the next day, come back. For us, we do something wrong, somebody suffers, which is not that good. So our margin of error is much, much smaller. Or we can go to courses, which we go quite often, 3-4 times a year. We go in courses with experts and specialists talk to us. We go on the internet, we buy books, we talk to our colleagues. We must never be proud, so that we must be humble enough in case something you don't know. I go and ask a colleague who might know better. So like my colleague who might be better in cancer, I say, hey, anything new in this cancer treatment? My other colleague who's better in, say, test tube babies, which I don't do, I say, hey, what's the, so they ask them. And there's so many ways to find knowledge nowadays. Nothing very much. I think nothing very much. If you love your job, then there shouldn't be any issue. Money is never an issue in your job. If you love your job, it doesn't really matter how much they pay you. It doesn't matter at all. Because you're doing what you like every day, and that's important. You must do medicine because you love medicine, you love people. A lot of people go into it because either they think they make a lot of money, or because their parents think it's a very prestigious job. Those are all wrong reasons, because eventually you will be very disappointed. It may not be so prestigious, because if you're a houseman, everybody bullies you. If you're a specialist and make a mistake, somebody will scold you. If you think you don't make a lot of money, there are so many doctors nowadays, so you may not make as much money as you think. So those are the challenges that students must remember. I would choose what I do. I love my job, so I don't see myself retiring anytime soon. I may cut down hours so that I spend more time with other things, with church or with family, but certainly not stop so soon.
Okay, yep, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rachel.